Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Uzair Madani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondi.
That's me.
And the incomparable Toni O.
Morning, boys. Excited as always to do this.
Gentlemen, how the devil are you? How are your weekends?
Well, it's great to see you guys this weekend. That was fun.
Yeah, I had a wonderful non-football related weekend. Yeah, we all met up in Picton Beach, a few miles from Kingston, and that was fun. It's always fun, but having such a big group as well was great, especially because we couldn't go last year because of the pandemic. So, yeah, and then we all gathered to see Mike afterwards for a barbecue, and Mike's a fantastic cook. So, all in all, a really great weekend.
Yeah,
non-football related.
I mean, Toni, it was great to see you and Uzair. And it was great to be able to watch an actual football game together. We haven't done that in a while. And I realized how much I missed all that banter that we have when you're in person.
Honestly, that's what I was going to say. Like, absolute highlight of the weekend for me was being able to watch a game with people and to continuously shit talk Chelsea and Liverpool fans during it.
Yeah, that was awesome. Seeing Ahmed and Tommy's bias throughout the game.
Seeing how much whenever Lukaku did something bad, seeing Toni just lose it.
Which was a lot. He did a lot wrong.
Yeah, it happened quite a lot, yeah.
Still can't trap the football. But, Van Dijk was excellent. Do we want to just dive into the Liverpool-Chelsea game?
Let's go straight into it.
I was going to say, we're talking about it already. Let's get into it. Liverpool won. Chelsea won. Tommy, you are our resident Chelsea fan. What are your thoughts on the game?
I'm the resident Chelsea expert. I'll take that too.
I didn't say expert.
You didn't say
expert? Please
Oh.
note, I said fan. We will not be labeling you as an expert on this podcast.
I echo Uzair's sentiments. Yeah.
I'm going to just self-label myself the resident Chelsea expert, but you don't need to agree with that. You know what? I don't even think I agree with it, so we'll go with that.
Whatever keeps you going.
It's good to see your argument fall apart within 10 seconds.
I'm happy with the result, all things considered. I think in that second half, I guess, let's just start with the first half. I haven't even talked about the second half yet. What an amazing goal from why am I forgetting the guy's name already?
This is our Chelsea expert, by the way,
ladies and gentlemen.
Havertz.
The self-proclaimed Chelsea expert.
We all knew that was going to fall apart as soon as I said it. So Havertz, that was an amazing no-look back header, like just under the crossbar. I don't think you can get any perfect than that. Fantastic goal. I think the game started with really high tempo, high energy. Both teams were attacking. It was a great football match.
I was going to say, the opening 20 to 25 minutes of the game were much more open than I thought they would be, especially for a top-of-the-table clash this early in the season. I expected it to be a little bit cagey, have a bit more of a feeling-out process, because, we know how good Chelsea's defence has been since Tuchel came in. We know that Liverpool have Van Dijk back, so they're back to full strength, back to as close to the peak of their powers as they're going to be. And yeah, it was refreshing to see how absolutely batshit the first 25 minutes were.
Yeah, I thought the same. My expectation was a 0-0 going into this. I thought both teams just going to be like feel each other out a bit. There's no real need to, come out strong. Cause it's still early on in the season. It's only our third game. But yeah, after that first goal, I think Liverpool definitely responded and had a lot more possession in our end after that. And they had quite a few chances, like that Henderson chance where if it was anyone else, maybe that would have went on target, but luckily it fell to Henderson. And then obviously there's that, I guess people are saying controversial call, but I think we all agree that, yeah, it was the right call on Reece James to get a red card and on a PK. I don't argue with it. I think it was legit. The only thing that I was upset about was the fact that the ref obviously already made his mind with VAR, and then he just strolls up to the TV, doesn't even glance at it, and then walks back. Okay, PK, at least, come on. At least please watch a video of it. Watch a video of the incident, and then maybe make a more, confirmed decision. That kind of made me angry. But besides that, yeah, it's the right call. I don't have any arguments against it. I don't know if you guys see anything different. I don't think.
No, I mean, look, he definitely didn't see the call because he let the play go on, right? He didn't give a penalty straight away. It was maybe a minute or two afterwards, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then, obviously, he gets a message in his ear that it's probably a red card and a penalty. I'm thinking maybe he just goes up to, I don't know, ease the tension, make it look like, okay, he's seen it, so the players on the field feel like he's done everything he needs to do to be fair. But honestly, I mean, it hits Reece James's thigh before it hits his arm, right? Like, look, he motions towards the ball with his arm, so I definitely think the right call was made in the end. But
yeah, in the end, it's, if you look at the replays as well, after the ball hits his thigh, it's still like moving backwards towards the goal, and his arm is the thing that stops the goal. So
yeah,
it's a bit, I understand some people being upset because he 100%, I don't think he meant to do it. It wasn't intentional per se, but it is a handball to save a goal, and that's always going to be a red.
See, I think he actually did mean to handle it in the split
Tony,
second.
you cynical bastard.
Listen, look, I don't think your arm...
Always thinking the worst of people.
I don't think your arm... like, that's not a natural movement with your arm.
What made you like this?
Okay, I don't...
We'll probably
do we
find
need
out,
to do we need to dig into the trauma, or is that coming up later in the show?
Yeah, let's save that for later. But, yeah, I just didn't think his arm was in a natural position. I feel like it's almost like he's trying to make himself big in a way. Like, if you're trying to extend your leg as high and as wide as possible, you almost lean back or lean to the side in a way as a counterbalance. But this way, he gestures his arm after his thigh kind of doesn't get enough contact on the ball. I don't know. Listen, I think footballers are really... their reactions are really quick, right? So I personally don't think...
That was a controversial take.
Okay. My point is, I think that... yeah, I just think that he instinctively used his arm to keep the ball out. I don't think it was a case of ball to hand, like some, I guess, Chelsea fans are claiming. I definitely think his arm moves towards the ball.
So you're saying, if for whatever reason we've made all of our substitutions, Mendy gets injured, we should put Reece James in goal. That's what you're saying, because he's got that natural instinct of using his hand. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect. I'll hopefully Tuchel remembers that if the time ever comes. I hope the time never comes, but
he's taller than Kepa, right?
Reece James?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
How tall is Kepa?
I mean,
because every time maybe it's just Kepa's frame. Cause I always think he's about 5'7". But that could also be because he can never actually save anything.
Let's check it. I think he might be 6'1", Kepa. I think he's just tiny, like in goal.
I think he's just skinny. That's
he's 6. He's 186. I think that's like 6'1", 6'1.5". So he's not short for when it comes to the average footballer, but when it comes to goalkeepers, he's on the smaller side.
Yeah, especially when you compare him to Mendy, who's, 6'5"?
6'5", yeah.
Yeah, Mendy, he had a solid... well, I was going to say he had a solid game, but his kicking was
we'll talk about that now in the second half, where I think Chelsea were the better team, to be honest. They were defensively super solid, and they limited Liverpool to these shots from outside the box. No real... I don't remember any real amazingly decent chance that Liverpool had in that second half to score.
I think there was one Jota header from a lovely little outside of the foot pass from Salah.
Yeah.
Which was,
that's right.
But outside of that,
I think Salah should have done better on the one that he miscontrols. Don't know if you guys remember where we thought, who's playing left back? I think we thought Alonso got a touch, but actually Salah just miscontrols it, and then like it was a cross into the box, and Salah gets in there before Alonso, but can't control it. But I do agree that Chelsea controlled the second half really well. They restricted Liverpool to really poor quality chances. I think Klopp was slow to react on his substitutions. I think Thiago should have been on at halftime, if I'm being honest. I think Henderson had bit of a stinker. In general.
A bit.
Yeah, I don't know. He couldn't really find any progressive passes. We've already mentioned the earlier chance. I don't know. I also think games like this expose Liverpool a bit in that outside of the front four that they have, when I say front four, I mean Salah, Mane, Firmino, and Jota. They don't have a lot of creativity out in their squad. Unfortunately, Firmino had to come off earlier, right?
Yeah, he got a bit of an injury, I think, yeah.
So they didn't have the opportunity to play with the front four, which I think was a huge loss as well, because normally in that situation, Klopp brings on from Jota, puts him up front, and plays Firmino in the 10. And yeah, all Liverpool had were crosses. Robertson, who I think had a great game, and Trent, they just kept dumping the ball in the box, playing into Chelsea's hands. And in the center of the pitch, they just had nothing. Like there were no.
What you're saying is that Liverpool should have been in on the Olivier Giroud sweepstakes this summer.
No.
Always.
I did not. I don't think anybody is saying that, is there? Besides,
I'm saying that. Look, anything to keep him in the Premier League, even if it means him going to Liverpool.
Anything where you can mention Giroud in a podcast, you have to do it. So there.
It's exactly. It's part of the rules. That was part of the agreement when we started this.
Giroud must be mentioned.
Potential mention of Giroud.
it
has to be taken. You got to take these chances. Unlike Liverpool, we take our chances here on this podcast.
Yeah, I wanted to. Oh yeah, go Tony. Yeah,
I wanted to get your opinion, actually, Tommy, on Lukaku's performance. I know.
Oh, we didn't mention him yet. Oh right.
Yeah, we gave you a lot of stick for. I mean, I did back him as well as signing up this season. I think. Look, we're gonna have a full transfer pod next week. Trust me, my pick's gonna change. But what was your assessment of Lukaku's performance?
Yeah, not great. I think I remember him doing an amazing turn on Matip, and I don't remember him doing anything else besides that. But to be fair, in the second half, we were down a man, and he was probably trying to do a lot more on his own. We saw him trying to dribble, and I'm just trying to dribble past defenders. It was a game reminiscent of his time at United, right, where he in big games he just didn't turn up, and I hope that doesn't happen this season, where he bullies the lower teams and doesn't turn up against the big teams. But if that wins us a title, should I complain too much? If he scores 20 to 30 goals a season, like none against the top 4 teams, and we win the title, would I complain? No, not at all. But it is a bit worrying seeing that performance, that he hasn't really changed since he was last in the Premier League. And yes, the dribbling was hard to watch, especially when you have Toni there in your face screaming.
It doesn't help when you have people in your ear just waiting.
That does not help. Yeah. So. Yeah, it was, again, I give him benefit of doubt, the fact that we were down 10 men, but I just want to give a huge shout out to I think Conte came off injured, I believe, at halftime.
Yeah.
And we had Kovacic come on, and Kovacic just absolutely bossed it out there. His just ball retention skills, I think, not our defensively, we were amazing, but when you have Kovacic out there retaining the possession that he did, that was amazing. And I think he had the best chance of the game. He was sent in 1-0 at the keeper, and he just shot a side foot right at Alisson. You want anyone else on there is who you want. You don't want Kovacic finishing your chances, but in the build-up, honestly, he was amazing. So definitely a shot.
I think that chance was actually after some good play between he and Lukaku.
Was it with Lukaku? Okay.
Yeah.
It was with, I think Mount and Lukaku were both involved in the build-up there.
Yeah. I think, Van Dijk, better forwards would get bossed by Van Dijk, let's be honest. The difference he makes with that Liverpool team is just insane. Like, he is by far the best centre-back in world football right now. You could just see Lukaku give up on his side and go to the other side and try and get some change out of Matip. But, Uzair called it at the beginning, right? In our first part, I think, that he will beat up on the smaller teams. But in the bigger games, I think we just have to accept, this is 11 years into, maybe 12 years into his career. This is just who Lukaku is. He's a flat track bully when it comes to the smaller teams, but in the bigger games, he's maybe not the guy you want to rely on. Maybe use a Kai Havertz in that role, try something else, and then have Lukaku as a plan B off the bench. I don't know. But this was a huge result for Chelsea.
Oh, definitely, yeah, to get a point from that, and not just that, but the defensive performance that we displayed.
I was going to say, it's the performance as well as the result, because the way they defended, just so well as a team, reminded me of the Champions League final, where they just put in an excellent defensive performance after getting their goal. And if they keep playing like this, going to be hard to stop them.
Yeah, I agree, and it's great. It's great to watch. Great for me. Toni must hate it. Must hate seeing me this happy about Chelsea.
Let's be honest. I hate it too.
You hate it too.
I do hate it as well. So let's switch tracks here and move on to our next game, which is Wolves 0, Man United 1. Tony, I guess let's start arguing already, because we were getting into it about just before we started recording. The challenge from Paul Pogba on Ruben Neves in the build-up to the winning goal. Go ahead, and tread carefully.
I think if Granit Xhaka makes that challenge, it's a red card.
That's
my opinion.
I disagree. I disagree with the challenge being a red card. If Granit Xhaka makes it, I don't know, maybe, but that's because Xhaka does stupid things all the time and sets a lot of precedent for himself.
Okay,
but if you look at the challenge on its own, I don't think it's a foul.
His foot goes over the ball. Okay. All right.
Don't worry, Tony. You'll get your chance. You'll get your chance.
Yeah, you'll get your chance. You'll get your chance. Don't interrupt me mid-flow.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Ruben Neves' reaction to the thing, he gets clipped on the shin pad in a 50-50 challenge.
He gets clipped on the shin pad. We're just gonna breeze past that. Okay. All right. Go on.
Or would you like me to use a different word? He gets
clipped on the
shin pad
with Paul Pogba's studs. Right. Just painting this picture. Am I wrong?
He runs on for a little bit, looks at the ref, and then decides he's going to go down.
Because it hurts.
Like that's not the reaction of someone who's actually been fouled.
Hey,
that's the reaction of someone who's looking to get a decision.
I'm watching this right now.
It's one of those things that I think if the ref had given a foul there, and let's say in the case because it wouldn't get VAR'd, I guess, if the ref had given a foul. But let's say if it was in the penalty box, and the ref had given a foul, then it wouldn't have been overturned. I don't think that's a decision that VAR is ever going to overturn, because it's a 50-50.
for me, the only reason that this isn't a foul is just on Neves. If he goes down right away, clutching and screaming, they're going to look at this as a foul, and they will not overturn it.
I'm
There's
sorry.
No way.
Are we saying that referees should be given decisions based on... Look, fine, forget the referee. Are we saying that VAR should be given decisions based off of player reactions? That is an over-the-ball studs and shin challenge. You've pretty much confirmed that. So Neves' reaction should be irrelevant. I'm sorry. It should be irrelevant. There are rules, and Paul Pogba goes in there. And look, maybe you want to say it's not a red card. You can't tell me that's not a foul. I don't understand. I think if, as Tommy says, Neves goes down, 100% red card. So we're now punishing players for staying on their feet and trying to be honest, is what you're saying.
Well, what I'm saying is Neves wasn't trying to be honest, is because he takes a look at the ref, has a look, and then he decides to go down.
I don't know. I don't think you give a foul based on a player's reaction. I think,
I don't think you can clear Neves of being a dick in this situation.
Okay. Listen, I think. Look, I'll be honest. I think teams are ref differently based on who they are. I think it's very easy for Man United to get decisions in their favor, and I think other teams, they tend to get the full wrath of any situation.
What other teams are you talking about, Tony?
We know what team he's talking about. We're going to get into what team he's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I love conspiracy theory, Tony. It is my favorite, Tony. If you could see the shit, you can hear the shit-eating grin on my face right now.
We should have a podcast about football conspiracies.
So look, we'll dedicate
Tony
entire sections
Tony
to
just
that.
opened a can of worms right there.
I love it so much.
I want to confirm that I am not, or at least clarify, I'm not talking about football conspiracy theories. I'm talking about perception of teams, perception of players. I think that a different player gets a red card in that situation, regardless of what Ruben Neves does, or gets a foul at least on review. But hey, listen, Man United, if we're gonna talk about the actual football, Man United were pretty lucky to win. I don't know.
They were dog shit. Yeah. Beyond dog shit. Absolutely terrible play. Yeah. My God, Fred. Why is it always Fred? I can just say the word. I can say the phrase "Man United's midfield," and you know that I'm going to talk about Fred.
We know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. Adama Traore was like, I don't know how much baby oil he had on him, but United couldn't get a hold of him at all. My God, people were bouncing off him. People were slipping off him. We had the one Wan-Bissaka clearance off the goal line in the first half. That phenomenal
was amazing
bit of defending.
defense.
Pause.
Yeah. Right after Fred had passed the ball to Traore and then bounced off him.
Did you guys see the foul in the box after that Wan-Bissaka clearance?
Was there a
foul in the box? I genuinely haven't.
Daniel James?
Yeah, Daniel James.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think that's a penalty. Hey, conspiracy theory.
I genuinely haven't seen this, but
yeah, I think it was a 2-footed challenge.
Bring on conspiracy theory, Tony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, I don't know what. Look, two things. I think Adama Traore, someone's gonna make a play for him in the last day of this window, because he just gives you so many options. He covers so many sins with his play.
If he had any end product,
oh my God,
he'd be world class.
Yeah, he would be. But
I'm looking I'm just looking at the overall stats of this. Wolves had 15 shots, 6 on target, and they have, I think it was similar in the Spurs game they played, and they have no goals to show. They've been so unlucky.
I think their luck will turn with that.
It has right?
You've got Traore, who's honestly great until, like we said, the end product. Trincao is just getting into the team, and Jimenez is coming off a major injury, which could leave like a bit of a psychological
for sure, yeah.
issue as well, with just holding yourself back for the first few games. I think the goals will come when you're creating chances like this. The goals will likely follow. And speaking of Wolves' shots on target, I'd like to speak about two of them. That David De Gea double save. That is 2016 David De Gea. That was ridiculous. The reaction for that second save was ridiculous.
I mean, as an attacker, you have to score there, no matter what. I mean,
you have to.
Yeah.
But
also, you don't take away anything from that save. It's an unreal reaction to get that, and not only save it, but De Gea knocks it to the side. You know, he gets it out of danger. That's a big key too.
I am not proud of the sound I made when he made that save. I'll leave it at that.
Weren't you watching that in a bar?
I was watching that in a bar. I have no regrets. The bar knew what they were getting into when they let me in.
I don't think they did, but okay.
It's the Toucan in Kingston.
Is your name on the wall?
They might as well be. I've spent enough money there over the years.
But hey,
Jadon Sancho.
Like he had a rough game. There's no sugarcoating that, but first start. I'm not going to be too hard on the kid, but yeah, it's you if you count the United players, there's more that had bad games than good games in that one. You contrast that though, Rafa Varane had a very, very good game.
He did.
He got an assist as well for Greenwood's goal.
Yeah, he got the assist on that. But in the end, if you come out of a game playing that badly, but you get 3 points, all you can do is say thank you
and move on to the next one.
Pray that you do better next week.
It's just really strange that I think I say this every week. The amount of money that United have spent and the quality of players they've been signing, they've just ignored midfield. Like, I don't know. Paul Pogba.
We're just gonna play just a collection of prayers in central midfield and hope it works out.
Did you see that still shot of I think it was Varane was about to play a pass, and there were 6 players,
and we had 6 players running in behind,
and there was no one in the center of the pitch. It's like
fuck it. I love it. I kind of love it. It's so dumb.
Oh my days.
Who needs a midfield?
Well,
midfields are irrelevant. You
guys just signed someone. Is he a midfielder? You guys signed someone big recently. I heard in the news.
You know what? Maybe he could if he's willing to play a little bit further back. Maybe one Cristiano Ronaldo will be the solution to our midfield problems.
Solution. I mean, to be fair, when he sees Fred play, he probably just like, guys, Fred, get out of here. I'm taking that spot.
We'll hide Fred in like a broom cupboard or something while Ronaldo's having his unveiling. Wait until the contract is all signed, and then we show him Fred. And be like, this is your midfield.
Yeah, that was a crazy 48 hours, right? The Ronaldo signing.
Yeah, I think the signing was announced on the Friday. Yeah. I got into a car in Toronto for a 3-hour drive, and he was on the verge of signing for City. And 3 hours later, when I'd finished the Toronto to Kingston drive, he had been announced for Man United, and I needed to sit back down. I was dizzy. I've never seen a transfer turn around that quickly.
This summer transfer window has been like the craziest one that I remember. Like, Messi moved, Ronaldo moved. We got
Messi and Ronaldo have moved for a combined 20 million.
Yeah, that's when you say it like that, it's pretty insane.
It makes no sense.
Yeah,
it's so stupid. It makes no sense.
But I'm curious. What are your thoughts on this signing? Like, what do you? Are you happy about it? Do you think it's gonna work?
Honestly, I'm excited. How can I not be? Like, this is one of the... It was Ronaldo... When I started watching football, it was Ronaldo and Rooney were the 2 players that really made me fall in love with Man United. And You can talk about the midfield issues as much as you want, and they are very, very valid issues. But it's impossible for me to not be excited about this. Like, if you can't get excited about your team re-signing a club legend, Cristiano Ronaldo, what can you get excited about in football?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited just to have him in the league. It's going to be fun to watch every
excited
Sunday,
to see
every weekend.
Excited to see how much he costs in fantasy.
Oh, he's probably going to be I think he'll cost more than Kane. I think Kane's the most expensive player, in fantasy right now. Or is it Salah? I can't remember. I think it's Kane. But I'm expecting him to be just as priced high. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great for the league. And if he's anything like, it's huge. Yeah. I remember if it's anything like when we had Drogba come back for us in his second spell, and it helped us win the title. If you guys get that sort of boost, then it's totally worth it. I don't know what his wages are or that sort of thing. I'm sure they're going to be pretty high.
They'll probably be the highest. He'll probably be the highest paid player in the league. But it's a 2-year contract. It's not like they're mortgaging the future like they did with the Sanchez one.
I think I heard it was about 480,000 a week, which is not crippling. I mean, United paid similar wages, right? To Pogba,
the highest is 350.
Oh, I thought it was 400
with De Gea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they managed to actually cut the wage bill down a lot once they started shipping off the Mourinho signings.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
it's not. Like you said, it's obviously really high wages, but it's not like you're not completely just throwing everything into like this 5-year contract for an aging player. It's a 2-year contract. It'll be okay.
So who's at most risk for losing playing time at United because of this?
Jadon Sancho.
Sancho?
I think so. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Greenwood's been in undroppable form so far. Sancho's probably coming off the bench at this point. Unless we're starting him out on the left, in which case, I mean, we started Dan James on the right, so yes, I think Dan James is going to lose his spot to Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a hot take, but I'm willing to stand by that.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't count. But, yeah, Rashford's he's not fit yet, so...
No, he's back in, like, October, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Mason Greenwood's better on the right, personally. And, I mean, Cavani hasn't started it. I think this was his first game for you guys, the Wolves game.
This was his first game of the season.
I don't know that they can play together consistently. Cristiano Ronaldo.
I don't think it would make sense to play them together.
Yeah. So, it is very much a signing that United didn't need to make, but it is still a great signing for the feel of the club, if you know what I mean, for the morale of the club.
100%. Just look at the away fans just having their little just surfing a cardboard cutout of Ronaldo all over the place. That's just the atmosphere in that away end is exactly why you make that signing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it plays out because
I think we all are. It's just like I said, just good vibes in midfield. That's all we have.
What a goal! A stunning Ronaldo free kick. The goalkeeper never moved, and United, having been so close to going behind, are now in front.
Well, I said they're the most dangerous. They go right down the other end.
All right, guys, I want you to pull up the table and tell me, who do you see at the top and who do you see at the bottom?
Oh my god! Fuck. I mean, it's like, where is he going with this? It's just...
I don't.
I love how Tony is the only one who didn't realize where he was going with this. When you pull up the table, there's only one thing that really, really catches the eye, and that is Arsenal, 20th place, no goals scored, 3 games in, no points. Tony, let's talk about Man City 5, Arsenal 0.
Okay. Take a deep breath, yeah.
Look, so I didn't watch the game live because we were at Picton, or on the way to Picton anyway at the time. But I did watch the game back once I got back. Look, I love football. I get to experience football in so many ways. I've been playing competitive football for over 12 years. Really, I coach football right now. I listen to football podcasts. I'm recording a football podcast right now, and I really got into football because of Arsenal, because of Thierry Henry, because of Patrick Vieira, because of Dennis Bergkamp, because of Arsene Wenger, because of the values that the club had. They were always very brave, very innovative. They were always very defiant. They were combative. They were competitive. And I look at this club now, and they are nothing like the club that I started following in '98. There's nothing. They're weak mentally. They're stupid behind the scenes. They're stupid on the pitch. They quit in difficult moments. They don't have good players. They've lost all innovation. They hide behind not having money, but they make reckless financial decisions. The only thing left that harps back to what the traditional Arsenal values are that we give opportunities to youngsters, but we're doing that out of necessity right now. But that's why fans cling to Bukayo Saka. They cling to Emile Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, and I think we over-index their quality because they're all we have left. And this was my fear. Look, I felt Wenger needed to go as much as an ex-Arsenal fan. I think he got sucked into the nonsense going on behind the scenes. But my one fear with him leaving is that he was the one holding all of what was left as far as Arsenal values goes. Which is why I was excited, or not excited, optimistic about Arteta's arrival. Because I've hoped, he was a player that really represented Arsenal well. He was a signing we needed at the time we bought him. I don't know if you guys remember. Well, I know Zer does. We signed him after a quite similar game against Man City, actually. He and Mertesacker came in on deadline day, and he stabilized a club that was sinking fast. And we were hoping he could do something similar. But he's now starting to look like a guy who was best friends with the smartest guy in class. Got all the answers to the test before the day before the test, and so he always came second. Maybe got 99 out of 100, while Pep got 100. And now he's gone to a new school, and the questions are similar, but the figures are slightly different, and we realize that actually this guy doesn't have a fucking clue. He's playing Xhaka as Fernandinho. He's playing Aubameyang as Aguero. He's playing fucking Pablo Mari as Laporte. He's putting players in positions that they can't excel. He's just playing the style of football with players that are not good enough. And yeah, this club is going nowhere fast. We are last because we deserve to be last. We are last because we have been the worst team in the league. And we might beat Norwich in 2 weeks. Who gives a fuck? We are not going anywhere fast. That's the truth. This team is better than this. Players-wise, they're not great. But at this point, this is Arteta's fault. This is Edu's fault. this is Kroenke's fault, and Edu will lose his job soon. I think Arteta will lose his job soon. Maybe, I don't know, in 10 weeks, because we're very slow to make decisions. I don't know. I'm saying a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Honestly, I went into this ready to make fun of Arsenal, but now I just want to give you a hug.
I feel the same way. I was going to say the same thing. That was just
you can't make me feel bad about this.
No, I just, like, Granit Xhaka is supposedly the leader of this team. We should have sold this guy.
The fact that
Roma
you had
came in...
Exactly. The fact that you had an offer on the table for Xhaka and didn't sell... Like, I don't care what he brings to the team at this point. This was similar to when United sold Marouane Fellaini. I don't care what he brings to the team. He's emblematic of a problem, and he represents a connection to a problem that you just need to sever at some point. I'm not saying Xhaka is as bad of a player as Fellaini is. Xhaka can occasionally be a good player, but he's fucking useless at this club.
Marouane Fellaini guarantees you something. He guarantees you presence in the box. He guarantees you fight. Granit Xhaka...
And he guarantees you some lovely hair.
He does. Granit Xhaka, I mean, Mourinho offered 12 million. He lowballed us. Take the money.
Exactly. 12 million is worth it.
We sold Fabregas for 29 million. He was a 60 million pound player. We sold Van Persie for 25 million. He was at least a 40 million pound player, even if he was in the last year of his contract. We sold Henry for about 28. He was probably a 60 million pound player. We sold players for less than their value, but smart clubs take the money. Granit Xhaka has been here for 6 or 7 seasons. I think he's going into his 7th season. We have never qualified for the Champions League with this guy in our midfield. Never. And we have to build a team around him, otherwise he's useless. And now the team's useless because we have to build a team around him. Like, everyone talks to me about how Xhaka is a leader, Xhaka is this, Xhaka is that. And I think Xhaka has some qualities. But far too often, when things are falling apart, Xhaka just loses his head, and this leadership we talk about disappears, and he just checks out. Mustafi used to do the same thing. Mustafi had to crawl out of the club because for some reason Arteta loved the guy so much. Granit Xhaka should be gone. He should be gone. Sead Kolasinac should have sold him a long time. Callum Chambers is our right back. That's crazy. He can't defend. And we've known this for 8 seasons. Callum Chambers, for God's sakes. Rob Holding. Our backline was Cedric Suarez. Sign under Arteta. Callum Chambers should have been sold by now. Rob Holding, whatever. Sead Kolasinac he should not be playing for Arsenal at this point.
I thought Kolasinac had left the club. Was that just a loan or?
Yeah, it's a loan to Schalke.
It was to Schalke, right?
Yeah, but then they got relegated.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see him playing. I thought he was long gone.
Yeah.
We beat West Brom's kids 6-0, and somehow Kolasinac was garbage in that game. I don't know how. I mean, Pablo. The mere fact that we played 5 defenders, 3 center backs, and Pablo Mari cannot get on the pitch just tells you the state. William Saliba is out on loan at Marseille when he is probably our best center back. I don't know what is going on. Nothing makes sense. We played 1 central midfielder, and that was Granit Xhaka, and then he gets himself sent off.
Hey, about that challenge, do we have any agreements, disagreements, red card justified? What are we thinking here?
It's a red card. It is such
100%, right? Yeah.
He's off the ground 2-footed and like flying in.
It is a cowardly challenge, man. I've seen it way too many times.
It's Xhaka losing his head under any kind of pressure again. It happens a few times every season. And like Tony said, like, this guy's supposed to be the leader.
We gave this guy a new contract,
Yep.
I don't know what's going on.
Tony,
I can't believe I have to watch this guy for it.
I know, you put a lot out there. A lot of it was depressing as fuck. It was bleak.
What a lovely way to start your morning, by the way.
But listen, Tony, listen. there is one piece of good news, or maybe a little bit of light at the tunnel.
How do I feel this is going to get worse?
I have a strong feeling it's going to get a lot worse.
Willian has officially signed to go back to Brazil. I don't want to say it's 100%, but I did read that Willian is leaving. That's got to be some positive news, right?
That just reminds me that
he's there.
Signed William. Like that's all that does. It's like
it didn't work there. I'm sorry.
No, but it's just I knew it the moment you mentioned his name. I knew it wasn't going to work.
It's just like how can Arteta should be sacked this morning? He should have been sacked. I
100% agree. You have an international break coming up. You have 2 weeks. You can bring someone in. Get them used to the club. Get them used to this. I mean, it's too late to give them any time in the transfer window, but you can change the mood around the club just by changing the manager, and that's something that they need to do at this point.
You can change the mood.
I don't care.
You can change the mood around the club by selling Granit Xhaka. Honestly, I don't care if he has a new contract. Fuck me, man. Like he.
See if Roma are willing to give you 5 mil. Just take the money and go. At this point, he's damaged goods.
I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that I have to watch Xhaka potentially for 3 more seasons. It just, yeah, I don't know. They're like, when Liverpool went 30 years without a league title, I never felt like in all those years Liverpool lost sight of who they are. I just felt like they never got a manager that was the right... Well, no. Because Rafa Benitez, in fairness, was actually a great manager for them, right? But they had spells where they tried the Liverpool legend route when Kenny Dalglish came back. That didn't work. They had, what's his name? Roy Hodgson.
Roy Hodgson.
But, yeah, they had some strange managerial decisions, but the club, the fan base, the players, they always knew what this club was about. I just don't get that sense anymore. Like, the fans still know what Arsenal, they know that this isn't working, but the guys behind the scenes, the guys in the club, the footballers as well, it's like they don't understand what this club was built on. Like, yeah, we just keep signing the wrong players. We keep signing the wrong players, and yeah, there's nothing good to say about Arsenal. There's no analysis needed. We just have bad players. We have bad process. Yeah.
Well, hey, I think that's enough of Arsenal talk.
Toni,
I can't handle any more of this.
Yeah, this is a lot for us now. We weren't ready to bear this burden, but Toni, I'm about to make your morning a little bit worse, because we're about to go from the bottom of the table to the top. Tottenham Hotspur.
Top of the
3-1-0
table.
wins
Oh my
in a
God,
row.
what's going on?
The only team with the 100% record in the league. Nuno's doing a good job. He's off to a very good start. Tommy, what are your thoughts on this?
I wonder if the whole Kane stuff, that was just a healthy distraction for them to be like, okay, we can just kind of focus on the football and just go from there. And it seems to, Kane played, he does look a step behind out there.
That'll happen when you spend your entire preseason on holiday in Miami.
But Spurs are 3-0, but I don't let that hide the fact that defensively they are still just as bad as they were last season. That hasn't changed. They are giving up boatloads of chances. That Wolves game they played, what was that, last week? They should have conceded. This game they conceded a few, or they conceded a lot of chances, and that's going to catch up to you. Just like we said with the Wolves, they're going to score goals soon. Tottenham are going to concede. They're going to lose games soon. It's going to happen. Goal, my son with another goal. Love it. Keeper, 100%. I think we all agree should have done a lot better with that one. He was anticipating
poor
his
Bachmann,
touch.
waiting for a touch from players who were about 2 meters away from the ball.
I'm not sure
what
he was thinking on that one. But I'm happy to see Son still thriving, and and he's getting a lot of the ball, a lot of plays running through him. Nuno, I 100% deserves credit for the starts. He's really turned this team around. How dire they were at the end of last season, but I do think that the sort of chances that they give up is going to catch up to them really soon. And they've had I know they played City first. That was a tough game, but I don't know their schedule. Yeah.
Every game.
I'm glad that Toni chimed in, because I wasn't sure if it just collapsed from hearing that Spurs were top of the table or not, especially after that massive rant he just went on with Arsenal.
Yeah, Spurs, they've won every game 1-0. They're the lowest scorers in the top 10, and I think this is just Tottenham, man. Like they started last season like a runaway train. I don't know if you guys remember. Harry Kane had like 13 assists in the first 5 games or something.
Top of the table in November, October, something like that.
But
October, yeah.
Yeah, when your games are this close, especially against teams that you should comfortably be beating, you're leaving a lot to variance. And if they don't improve their performances, they'll drop down the table pretty quickly, I feel. I'm not concerned about Tottenham. The table sucks right now. But I don't know. I don't think they're playing well. The City game was one thing. That's Man City, but I can't remember who they played last week. It wasn't Burnley.
It was Wolves last week and Watford this week.
Yeah, and I remember Wolves had a boatload of chances.
Adama
Traore had he should have had at least 2 goals. And today, I mean, I don't even know that Tottenham created that many chances. Their goal that was a free kick, a cross into the box, right? Wasn't even a good free kick. Yeah. I'm not concerned about Tottenham. I think they'll probably finish 5th or 6th, maybe 5th to 7th. But sucks right now that I can't look at the table for the next
season,
the next 10 games.
The whole season, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so. So but Spurs will be Spurs.
Yeah. So do we just want to do a little roundup of the other results?
What else happened?
We have West Ham 2, Crystal Palace 2. Another great game from Mikel Antonio. Goal and an assist. The man is on absolute fire right now.
He's just killing it for my fantasy team. I love it. I think we all have him, though. I think everyone has Antonio, right?
No, I don't, because
Toni?
I just...
Oh, my God. I think it's worse.
The problem is...
It's been a rough podcast for Toni.
I keep thinking that when the moment I bring him into the team, that's when his performances would dip. Yeah, it's funny how strikers just seem to... Once they get into their 30s, something just clicks. And... you look at all the best strikers in the world right now, apart from maybe Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, who are just physical monsters. The rest of them are probably 29 and over, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And it's, Mikel Antonio. I mean, he started out as a right back, no? And
so what you're saying is there is hope for me.
There is hope for you, yeah. I mean, hey,
all I need to do is become as big and strong as Mikel Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, his assist for the first goal was brilliant. That's new for Mikel Antonio. He's starting to show a lot of composure in the box. His second goal, he just runs onto it and smashes it. Like, he's West Ham he's West Ham's attack, basically. If you look at the way they play, David Moyes has always loved this kind of forward, an all-action, how I put it, just a physically dominant forward. And West Ham are really fun to watch right now. Which
he just has to stay fit. That's his thing.
Yeah.
And they just signed Zuma, which is a odd thing from Chelsea to do. Give our London rivals a really good defender. I'm not very happy about that, but that's a great signing for West Ham. And I know we kind of undersold them last week in terms of the Leicester game, which we all got our predictions wrong. We should probably add in there.
You were on your
Closest.
way, and then
Closest,
you let Azera and I peer pressure you into
I was
I
going to
I
say,
take
yeah,
no
I know, I was going to
responsibility
say
for
West
this.
Ham, yeah.
I take absolutely zero responsibility for this.
Okay, so
I'm leaving this on you, Tony. You peer pressured him into this. How dare you?
Yeah.
Tommy, don't give in to Tony. When
No,
he says stuff
I
like
told
this.
you.
If you
told
want
you.
to believe in West Ham, you believe in West Ham.
Hey, they look, and they're proving it right now. They're having a great start of the season. Maybe they still do something in the transfer window. It's not over yet. They could. I don't know if there's any talk with Lingard. If that's still an opportunity or not.
Seems to be dead in the water
It's
of
dead,
right now.
yeah. So, but you never know. The last day, these things tend to just pop up. So, I think they have a good squad, and adding Zuma on defense, that's fantastic. I hope that means Chelsea sign Koundé now. We'll find out in a couple of days or not. But yeah, West Ham are sitting pretty in second place, but there's also United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Everton. They're all right there. It's early days, but good start.
breaking news: Sky Sports. Chelsea halts Koundé pursuits. Sevilla suddenly up
Tony.
their asking price.
Tony.
Yep. Good to have that dashed immediately.
Tony, you're just delivering just bad news all podcast here. Come on.
Yeah,
We can't have Tommy be too happy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they'll probably end up signing him anyway.
Probably.
But, I want to enjoy this moment. That's all I have.
Enjoy one thing.
Yeah.
We'll give you that.
Moving on to David Moyes' former club, Everton picked up a 2-0 win over Brighton. Good performance all around. Bit of a kerfuffle over a penalty with Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but I believe Benitez cleared it up after the game, saying that DCL is their number one penalty taker and Richarlison is number two. So keep that in mind for your fantasy teams. Any thoughts on Everton? Rafa's off to a very good start.
Yeah, I mean, I called that, right? Didn't I say Everton were going to start well, do well? I think Tony said they'll just...
I have zero memory of
You
this,
zero memory
and
of
I
that?
refuse to go back to confirm.
Well, go back and listen to that. That's what we're saying. But they still have a thin squad, so it's just...
Yeah,
It's just
they
a couple
very much
injuries
feel
away.
about an injury or two away
Yeah.
from the wheels falling off at any point, but, you know,
Yeah, I think
can't fault them for the start.
I think what we said is they'll start well, and then they'll finish in the Everton place, which is like 7th to 9th. So I still feel that way. But
it'll be Everton, Tottenham, Arsenal, 7th, 8th, 9th. Probably it's gonna be like that, something like that.
do you think Arsenal are finishing in the top 10?
Oh,
Wow.
they might squeeze up there, especially if they let Arteta go. Get Big Sam in there. He knows how to.
This guy. Big Sam. Okay. All right.
That's when you know the club is truly dead.
Big Sam. Wow. Okay. Can we move on, please?
What else happened? Is there?
Did you guys see
go
the
on.
Newcastle Southampton game?
I was just about to bring it up. Newcastle 2, Southampton 2. An absolutely crazy ending to the game.
Jeez, Newcastle, man, that club. They just, they're the gift that keeps giving. Who was it? It was Saint Maximin. He scores in the 91st, 92nd minute. Newcastle fans think they've won it. It's 3 minutes of added time, and somehow they concede a penalty right after. It's crazy. Like
This game is that's Newcastle in a nutshell, right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll give their fans about 5 minutes of happiness per game and immediately find the funniest possible way to take it away from them. Funny for, anyone who doesn't support Newcastle. Genuinely, soul-crushingly depressing for anyone who is unfortunate enough to represent that club. It's just... Jesus Christ.
Can someone please just save Saint Maximin and sign him? I love this guy. He's such a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
Just someone sign him,
so
please.
Good.
Get him out of Newcastle. Like did any of us pick Newcastle to get relegated? None of us, right? I don't think so.
No, they'll
probably just stay up.
If they get relegated, the torture is over.
Yeah.
You can torture your fans so much more by consistently finishing 16th to 17th, and that is what they will continue to do.
I think at this point they'll probably relish a spell in the championship. This must be really painful. Yeah, they have some fun players like Callum Wilson. I think he got his first goal of the season. He's a player.
It might be his second or third.
Yeah, I
like,
think
he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
I really like Callum Wilson. Yeah, and St. Maxim, as you said, Joe Willock. Yeah, I love Joe Willock. But I don't know. They just don't play through midfield, and they don't keep the ball enough. And I don't know, mentally, I guess they have a habit of just collapsing under pressure. So I think they'll stay up, but yeah, they're 17th right now, is it? Maybe 16th? Yeah, 17th.
They got 1 point.
They'll stay up, but not because they're good. It's because there will be 3 teams worse.
Yeah, pretty much.
So just a quick rundown of the other results. We had Leicester bouncing back from their loss to West Ham last week with the 2-1 win over Norwich. We had Aston Villa drawing 1-1 with Brentford, Ivan Toni getting his first goal of the season. And we had Burnley picking up their first points of the season against Leeds United. Any thoughts on the results of those games, boys?
I mean, Brentford, another big result for them. They're proven to be a handful for the more established teams in the league. Ivan Toney is a pretty good striker. I'm happy for him to get his first goal of the season. He scored a hatful in the championship.
Yeah, 30 plus goals last season in the championship, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't see the game, unfortunately, but they're definitely a team I'm going to be keeping my eye on going forward. So, yeah, and what was the other one?
It was good to see Leicester bounce back from that loss to West Ham as well. Get it. It's a hard fought win against Norwich, who scored their first goal of the season through a Pukki penalty, which probably everyone would have predicted that Pukki would be their first goal scorer of the season. But Jamie Vardy having a very good game, 34, still firing on all cylinders. There's vodka and Red Bull. There's Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, another old striker that just seems to keep getting better and better. But Norwich. How many points do you think Norwich are going to get this season? 10, if even.
I think they'll get. What's the record for the lowest amount of points? Is it still Derby County?
Yeah, I think it might be Derby County with 12 or something.
Well, they'll beat that.
You think so?
Yes,
I think they will.
Definitely. That Derby result is not getting beaten. That'll stand the test of time.
I think Norwich are going to give it a real go. I just think most of the weaker teams in the Premier League are pretty strong this season. So, I don't know. We'll see. I just don't know. I don't know who they're going to beat.
Well, they do play the bottom of the table team the next game week, so they have a good shot.
Tommy's really on form this Yeah, 11 points, Derby County. So
yeah. I'll say that Norwich get to 20.
Wow.
I don't say it with confidence, but I'm scared of doubting teams now after what West Ham did, but we doubted them. So
that's fair. Yeah.
All right. On that note, boys, I think that wraps up the weekend's action. All that's left to do is to ask you to please subscribe to us on Spotify, YouTube, and now also on Apple Podcasts.
Hey.
And we finally got through. Finally managed to get that set up. So please, I believe you give us a 5-star review. Do all of that stuff. And thank you for joining me, Tommy.
Always a pleasure, is there? And Tony.
And thank you, and thank you for joining me, Tony. Please, take care of yourself. Get someone to give you a hug.
No, this is why I do this. This is basically my therapy at this point. So
just one large football therapy session.
Yeah, always a pleasure, is there? And Toni.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zed. Thank you, Tony. And Tony, please, we're just me and Azair just giving you a nice big hug right now.
Yeah, it's not helping.
It never does. Thank you for listening to us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. All right, Tommy, energy.
Energy, 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 energy.